Hi everyone, I am Jackie Lara here, the Tigress of the Light. I'm a spiritual mentor, author of multiple light code books, and the developer of quantum healing modality fractal line healing. I'm also a light language and light code expert, which brings us to the hot topic light language question that we have, which is, can you talk about light codes some more? And so I'd be happy to do so. So let's see if I can kind of distill this down a little bit. So everything is energy. You've heard me say this over and over and over again. Well, it's because it truly is the way of the universe. Everything is energy. And ultimately, consciousness is what directs energy, or perhaps energy is consciousness. I don't really know. I'm really not a quantum physicist, but in any case, so with light codes, what we're doing is they are the foundation of the universe. They really are the energy packets of consciousness that help to build and literally form structures of the universe itself. So consciousness creates the light codes, and also the light codes hold a consciousness. When we channel light codes, we're typically channeling it in a written form. They can come through as a in spoken form, but it's a little bit different. It's the nice thing about when we say it's a written thing, like I can show you a code, like you can, all the codes in the little book of light codes, volume 1 and 2, and light codes for the soul, those are actual light codes. They are the energy packets that have been drawn, and they're this thing, right, that we're looking at. Light language would be the elongated version of that. So you'll see light language as this long drawn out written squiggles and dots and lines and whatevers, right? Squares and various shapes. And it's this long string. If you compact that down, you get the light code. Now, we have an infinite amount of light codes available to us because there's an infinite amount of energy. There's an infinite amount of consciousness. Each light code is acting as like a portal to that infinite consciousness. So, like I said before, the light code is a packet of information. It is a consciousness unto itself, and it's holding information on a specific topic, a specific thing. So that could be, it could be like, let's say, connecting to the higher self. Okay. So there's going to be a light code. There's going to be a lot of light codes. There's going to be infinite amount of light codes for connecting to the higher self, because there's an infinite number of ways that you can do that. So there has to be room for that, which is why there's just an infinite amount of them. But let's say we've drawn a light code for connecting to the higher self. Now, this code is acting like a portal. And so when we gaze upon the code, or we are in the presence of the code, so we don't necessarily have to see it, do we? We just have to, it's emitting an energy, and we can just tune into that energy. I like to say gazing on it, but let's say if you have someone who I can't see very well or at all, just having that code in their field is enough. It's going to be emitting that energy, and we breathe with it. And when we breathe with it, we're opening ourselves up to connecting with the energies that code is emitting, and our consciousness on all the levels. So right from our lowest part of our unconscious that we never, ever, ever make contact with, right up to the most high supreme consciousness that we have within ourselves, have that whole range. Well, that whole range of consciousness is taking in the energies of this code, and your consciousness in that whole range is determining what part of that infinite expression of energy and consciousness that code is making available to you do I need. So your consciousness looks at this massive, massive infinite scale of infinite potential and possibilities on a certain topic, connecting to the higher self, and determines, what am I missing? And then it focuses on that bit. And let's say you, in your human form, are working with the code, and okay, we're breathing with it and focusing, okay, we're connecting with the higher self. I'm choosing to connect with the higher self. And then you put the code away, and then you come back to it tomorrow. Now you will have integrated a certain amount of the information and energy and consciousness of that code, right? You've given yourself some time. It happens instantaneously, whatever happens, right? Now you look at it again. Well, you're in a very different place. So your consciousness and that huge, huge, huge range of your consciousness looks at this code again and says, what else have you got? And your consciousness finds another tidbit, another gem, another spark of some sort that was missing, that you don't currently have in your level of consciousness, in all the levels of consciousness. You don't currently have that. So it goes, that's useful to me. Okay, we'll focus in on that. And we take that in and we breathe with it. And so this can go on. This can go on to infinity, because you can't possibly know everything. And the reason why we can't possibly know everything is because consciousness in and of itself is continuing to grow. It's continuing to expand and discover more. So light codes are really helpful in giving us a bit of a roadmap and way to tap into these ever-evolving energies and consciousness. So I mentioned before that light codes are, I like to just sort of say, well, they're written, but they can come through in non-written forms as well, of course, because hey, everything's energy, right? How I know if codes are involved is I see them. I see these packages of information floating down. So if somebody is channeling light language, which is that long drawn out gobbledygook sound that you often hear me speak if you follow this channel at all, sometimes within that, there will be packets of information that are dropping down like rain. And those are codes. It doesn't always happen. It isn't always necessary. And so you have to really tune in to even know if they're coming through, if light codes are actually coming through in a light language channeling or not. People don't typically speak in codes. When we speak, it's light language, but what's riding on the light language can be codes, if that makes sense. So if someone says, I only speak light codes, it's like, well, there's some truth to that, but that isn't the whole story. Just like I only speak light language. Well, there's some truth to that, but that's not really the whole story. And ideally, when we get really good at channeling light language and light codes, we are tuning into all these different frequencies and we're very aware of what we're channeling. And this is something that that I certainly preach. Know what you're channeling and know who you are channeling. And if you don't know, ask and work on it. And because we really want to evolve our consciousness, our level of consciousness, to really hone in on who and what we're channeling. We don't want to be channeling something we don't want to channel. We want to be very clear on what we want to channel and what we want to be bringing through our body. Thank you very much. Because that's what happens. We bring energy in. It comes in through those upper chakras and it comes out. So we're bringing it into our being. So we should know who we're channeling. But channeling is one of those things that it takes practice. So you might not know right away, and that's okay. Practice, but always be working towards who and what, and gaining those greater understandings, asking those questions. Keep asking those questions, because if you don't ask the questions, the answers aren't going to come. Ask and you shall receive. That's how the universe works. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. I hope you have learned a little bit more about what light codes are and a little bit more about light language, of course. And if you have any other topic suggestions for me, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Or of course you can email me at info@lightcodesbylara.com. If you liked this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified when we release new content. And until next time, wishing you the most amazing, wonderful, and fantastic day. Check out the description below for some important links that you will find hopefully very helpful and useful on your awakening and ascension and healing journey. All blessings, my friends.